What's good, Tamers? After a long break, we're finally back with a Belphamon vs Royal Knights Digimon battle. Over on the Belphamon player side, we have Demi-Meramon digivolving into Tapiramon, and I want to go ahead and apologize for the glare. That is going to be a missed memory boost. We did have a very strong light right behind where we were filming, but don't worry because all the graphics are going to be on the screen. So with the missed memory boost, you're going to be discarding the top two cards of your deck and then drawing a card. On the Royal Knight side, we see Kingdrasilmon being hatched and then using its ability to place another Kingdrasil underneath of it. And it looks like they're going to play a Magnamon for their first turn, reducing that cost so they have one memory, and then going into a Sistermon Seal so that they're going to be able to find some cards off the top of their deck. Looks like they're going to take a Leopardmon and then passing the turn over to the Belphamon player with 3 memory. Belphamon's going to attack in with Tapiramon, and that's going to get blocked by the Magnamon, still triggering its on deletion, so they're going to be able to draw a card, trash one, and then also draw a card off of the Tapiramon effect. I really like how both of these decks play. On the Belphamon side, you're going to want to get as many cards as you can into the trash so that you have pretty much a second deck to pull cards from, but it looks like they're going to pop the delay and play a mat down. So they're going to be able to pull a Digimon or a option back, and it looks like they're going to go into a level 4, or at least pull a Dobermon back to their hand, and then hard play a Guilmon for 3, leaving the Royal Knights player at 2. So at the beginning of the turn, the Royal Knights player is going to tuck under another Kingdrasil, and then any Royal Knights that is going to be on the field, which Magnamon is going to go underneath. Then they go into an Omekamon, so they're going to draw one from the on play, but its on deletion is going to be what really sets it off in this deck, letting you place something under Kingdrasil. Over to the Belphamon player, they're going to hatch a Sunamon in the back row and then play a Proto-Gizmon. Its effect is going to let you delete the level 2 in your breeding area to reduce the cost down to 1. So you're able to get it on the field really cheap as long as you have a level 2 in the back row. And from the draw one, trash one on play effect from the Proto-Gizmon, it looks like they're going to get rid of a Rage mode. So digivolving a Dobermon on top of the Guilmon, looks like they're going to have something that they're going to be able to attack into if they want, and they don't really care if it gets deleted. Looks like they're going to hit the security and it's not going to get deleted, so it's just going to be a little bit of bonus, and then they go into the Gizmon XT, so they're going to be able to delete a level 4 on their field, deleting the Dobermon, which is going to trash the top 3 of their deck, and then let them bring back a Digimon or a Tamer to their hand, and it looks like they take the Sleep Mode Belphamon. And resolving the XT's ability, they're going to play an Akihiro from their trash onto the field. So now they have some Tamers set up. They have the memory resetter, and then they also have the Akihiro that's going to draw them a card and trash a card at the end of their opponent's turn. You see Kingdrasil going off in the back row, and then the Omekamon attacking in. It's going to hit something that's going to kill it over 4,000 DP, so now they're going to get the on deletion effect and tuck another card underneath the Kingdrasilmon, and it looks like it was an Ulforce. Then swinging in with a Sistermon Seal, hitting an Astamon, so that's going to take that off. But now the Royal Knights player is 1 ahead in security, and they're starting to get a decent amount of cards underneath Kingdrasil. The big thing with this deck is that you're going to want to get as many Royal Knights underneath of it as possible, and then pretty much finish the game in 1 turn. So we do see the Leopardmon coming down, and then going into the Dynasmon, so that's going to let them search. Looks like they're going to pull a Jessmon, and then a Magnamon to their hand from their top of their deck. So once these Royal Knights are on the field, they aren't going to be able to attack or anything, but as you notice, a lot of them have really good on-play effects, and that's because they are going to get pretty much tucked under a Kingdrasil, and then you're looking to play an Omnimon to play all of them from under Kingdrasil, and then use that ability to swing in. Over on the Belphamon player side, at the end of turn, we see the Akihiro effect taking off. You are going to be able to draw 1 card and then trash one. Looks like they're trashing another Rage mode. They're not going to be able to tuck the Tamer underneath of a Belphamon so that they can delete a level 6, but they can start going through their deck. They digivolve Demi-Meramon into Fastamon in the back row, and then it looks like they're going to go into Gizmon AT, so deleting the other Proto-Gizmon so that they can make it cheaper to play, and getting the on-deletion effects from that, which is going to let them take 2 Gizmon-named cards from their trash, put them under their deck, and then play another AT, but it looks like they don't have any. So they're just going to get the on-play effect of drawing 2 cards and then trashing 2 from the Gizmon. Like I mentioned earlier, you really want to start filling up your trash so that you can start getting into this mini loop of using your Gizmons to replace themselves, building up, and then finally when you get the Akihiro, you're able to reduce the cost of the Belphamon like they just did with the Sleep Mode, and pretty much being able to play it for 2. So now they're going to get the on-play effect of being able to put a Rage Mode underneath of it, as well as replacing the Gizmon that they just got rid of with a Proto Gizmon, and then you can kind of start the process over and over again. So after finishing the on deletion effects of the Gizmon, Sleep Mode is going to find a Rage Mode from in the trash and then tuck that underneath, and now it's going to be protected from any of your opponent's effects, and it is going to be able to trash 2 cards on your opponent's turn when they attack to stop an attack from going through. This is going to be another blocker that is going to be able to help and keep the Royal Knights player from pretty much swinging away and chipping at that 3 security, as well as trashing 2 cards on play. Passing the turn over to the Royal Knights player side, you see they have a lot of stuff under the King Drasil, so they're really going to be able to reduce any of the Royal Knights they play, or at least the first one that they play, and they go into a Genkumon. So this card is really good because it's going to let you play another Royal Knights from underneath your King Drasil, and then going into Leopardmon, now they're going to be able to reduce the cost of another Royal Knight by 4, and then they go straight into an Alphamon. So they do pass a lot of memory, but now the Belphamon player is not going to be able to attack with anything that has a play cost of 10 or more. This is absolutely going to shut down the Rage Mode because it's not going to be able to swing in multiple times and take a whole bunch of security. And as you can see, the Omekamon got placed underneath the Alphamon, which is going to protect it from this Tamer effect. So they're going to be able to pop a level 6 on the Royal Knight player side. If they try to go after Alphamon, it'll just protect itself. So the big decision here is going to be deciding which Digimon to try and take out. Alphamon's going to be able to protect himself, and whichever one they take out is not going to be put under King Drasil on the following turn. So they go after Genkumon. It is going to let you play a Sistermon from the trash or a Royal Knight from underneath King Drasil if they play it again. Now, actually going over to the Belphamon player's turn, the Sleep Mode wakes up and goes into Rage Mode, but it is not able to attack due to the Alphamon being played last turn. So they have a lot of bodies on the field that can kind of do chip damage, but they're not going to be able to close out the game because they only have enough to take away 4 security. So swinging with the Proto Gizmon, it looks like it hits another Dynasmon in the trash, so that's going to delete it, and they are going to be able to trigger the ability to replace the Gizmon if they want, but it looks like they don't have enough of the Gizmon's in the trash, so then they're going to swing him with the Gizmon AT, bringing him down to 2 security, and it looks like it survives at 6,000 DP. So now they still have 2 more attacks to go to if they want to clear out the security at least, but they pretty much have to win this turn, because if the Royal Knights player has an Omnimon, it is going to be very devastating. So Fascamon attacks in, it's going to get deleted, using the ability from Demimeramon to draw 1, trash 1, and then the Fascamon ability to do the same. So they are going to be able to cycle some stuff out in their hand, and right now it's looking pretty dangerous. They're going to need to put a decent amount of blockers on the field, or at least get rid of some of these Royal Knights off the field so that they don't go under King Drasil next turn. But with a Call from Darkness, they're able to bring back pretty much 2 purple Digimon that they need to try and swing the game. So let's see if they're able to do that. And they go into a Gift of Darkness, so this is going to delete one of the level 6 Digimon. Once again, Alphamon is going to be able to be protected because the Omekamon is an X-antibody, so they are going to take out the Leopardmon, and that's going to keep it from getting absorbed into King Drasil next turn. So now they just have 1 more Alphamon on the field. And then Digivolving on top of the Belphamon Rage Mode. Going into Sleep Mode, looking in their trash, they do have a Rage Mode to place underneath it for the on Digivolve effect, so it is going to be able to protect itself 1 more time. And then they still have some memory, so they might just hard play a blocker, but it looks like they're going to pass the turn and going to 3. So here the Royal Knights player has a big turn ahead of them. They have a lot of sources under the King Drasil, so they're going to be able to reduce the play cost of a Royal Knight. And then they have, it looks like, 4 actual Royal Knights underneath the King Drasil, so they could essentially get 5 Royal Knights on the field this turn with an Omnimon and give them all rush, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. So an Omnimon is going to come out. They are going to take all the Royal Knight sources from underneath the King Drasil and then trigger the on-play effect, so it looks like they're going to go for the Dynasmon first, pulling 2 more Royal Knights to their hand, and it looks like next they're going to play the Ulforce. Normally it would be able to strip sources, but it's not going to be able to affect the Sleep Mode, so its next effect is going to be able to start bouncing stuff as they are going to play the Magnamon. Has blocker, but that isn't really too important as this is going to be an attacking turn since they are going to have rush, and then they are going to bounce the other Gizmon back to the hand, so that leaves 0 blockers on the field for the Belphamon side. And now they have 5 different Royal Knights So they are going to be able to swing in with all of them, as they do have Rush from the Omnimon, and with only 3 security and then the ability to stop only 1 attack, it's not looking really good for the Belphamon player, as they do hit their Tamer. The next with the Old Force is going to swing in. They decide not to stop that attack. It's going to hit the Rage mode and delete the Old Force, but that's not a big deal. Dynasmon going in, swinging in. Looks like they're actually going to stop this attack, so they are going to discard 2 cards from their hand to negate the attack. But then they still have the Belphamon and the Omnimon in the back row, which is very fitting, the 2 different leaders of the Royal Knights. So the Omnimon is going to swing in. Looks like they only have 1 more security, so with that, it's going to be the game with Belphamon, and Royal Knights is going to take this game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the match. It feels good to be back making videos again for all of you guys, and I'm really excited to showcase some more decks and gameplay that have come out from the last couple of new sets. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. It really helps the channel, and leave a comment if there is any specific decks from this newest set that you want to see. Well, until next time, let's get that gate closed.